Good evening everyone and welcome to League of Europe F1 2019 Division 1 round 17 here in Belgium. It is the penultimate round of the season. I, of course, am James F14, going to be taking you through the action here tonight. We'll get onto the standings in just a moment's time, but I do want to start this stream by paying tribute to those who tragically lost their lives in the London terrorist attack yesterday here in the UK. It is a horrible, horrible thing for anyone to go through, and I'm sure we want to extend our deepest sympathies to those involved and who have been tragically killed as part of the attack that happened yesterday. Of course, we do have to praise as well the officials, the emergency services, the police, the fire brigade, the ambulance service, and to the brave members of the public for stopping the attack becoming a lot worse and defending our freedoms and our way of life in the process. And that is all I'm really going to say on that, and I'm sure you guys will want to agree with me on that. But back to the job in hand, and back to League of Europe Division 1 here tonight for the penultimate round of the championship. It has gone over so quick, this championship, it really has this season. Montana obviously has wrapped up the championship a long time ago. 359 points he is on, with Waluigi in second on 133 points, still maintaining that second place in the championship. At his home track, we hope he can do quite well in the Tifosi car. Third is Neo, who has really suddenly burst onto the scene as a potential championship contender for next season. We do wish him well, of course, because I hope he is going to be joining next season. I want to see him pressurise Montana, as we all do, for the championship. On 126 points, Neo is in third, with Cantera in fourth position actually in the championship. I'm not going to go through the retired drivers because they've retired and have gone out the league. 100 points for Cantera in fourth, Dakar now in fifth on 82 points, with Doom in sixth on 79 points, 76 points for Harrison David, who's another retiree from the league. YHYY is in 9th on 67. Then in 10th is Larkin, who drove very well last week, I've got to be honest, in Abu Dhabi, of course that was. 65 points for Larkin. Spine coming up on the rails, 58 points in 11th, with Bullet Boy in 12th. Good to see him back here tonight. Hopefully no DNF to his name. He's on 57 points. 55 points for Rick, who's in 13th as well. We've got X-Jarry on 53. We've got, just looking further down, Kvyat Verstappen on 40. We have got Killer Blue on 21. And we've got Game Boys on 20 as well. And all the standings, by the way, are available on the website, of course, for you to look into. You might be wondering why are you blocking out the retired drivers? I don't like to mention the retired drivers now out on the stream. They've retired from the league. There's no point in mentioning them, I don't think, because they've moved on. Simple as that. But we are here, of course, in Belgium. 19 corners for the drivers to grab a hold of here tonight. Famous corners like La Source at Turn 1, Pouon, Arouge, Radion, Stavolo, Lacombe, No Name, or X now it's called. Yes, I've done my homework and I know a few of the corner names. That is good at any rate, really. Good to see a new driver here, by the way. Good to see Landy Forever here. Was due to attend last week, I do believe. He's in the Alfa Romeo, joining Bullet Boy for the rest of this season for the final two races. We wish him well, of course, the German driver who is new to the championship. As we now get underway for Division 1, I'm sure you guys are joining us in the stream. Good evening to Bullet Boy, who is the only one in the comment section at the minute. Of course, if you do want to get in touch with me in the commentary box, best way to do it is through the comment section, because I will be reading them out during the course of this evening. How are you, he asks. I'm doing very well indeed, preparing for this Grand Prix, doing a bit of time trial actually on this track as well. A 43.7 I think I've got currently on time trial, like 2,500th in the world. You're going to be seeing 142s here for sure. These guys will be a lot quicker than me if I was out on track. Daka is just coming into the comments. Good evening to the Scotsman. Hopefully you are doing well tonight. Don't expect much from me. First time using no ABS and limited practice. I'll try not to crash. I know. Well, that is good to see. Trying no assist is definitely something we want to be aiming everyone towards for, I think. It is the future of esports, I think. I don't know why we had lap 1 out of 3 come up on my screen there, but we are now in qualifying. Goodness me, the first bit of a moment there within the stream. Goodness me, I thought we were going to have a 3-lap race. That would have been job done for me in commentary, goodness me. But anyways, 17 drivers about to do battle out on track for pole position here in qualifying. I'm going to go on with the proverbial championship leader and current defending champion. And yes, perfect timing, right out of the pit lane he comes. Montana is out of the pits and through La Source he goes at turn 1, then into Rouge and Radion, famously of course, where Antoine Hubert actually passed away as a result of that crash. The findings and the safety recommendations are coming out next week for that crash, and hopefully we will hear a lot more about the technical aspects of what actually happened to Antoine in the horrific crash and the horrific death that he had suffered out on track. And I will certainly be having a look at safety recommendations, and hopefully good safety recommendations are made to improve the sport, to improve motor racing in general, because lessons, I do believe, need to be learned in some aspects, but not all aspects. You can never remove the danger element out of motorsport. It will always be that prevalent factor within Formula 1 and within any form of motorsport as well. NASCAR, IndyCar, touring cars included in that as well. But we are here in Belgium, as I say, 19 corners for the drivers to unfold on. We have got the track map up, or I've got the track map, you can't see it. 2 DRS zones, one down the Kemmel Straight between turns 4 and 5, that is on the exit of Radion down towards Le Combe chicane at turn 5, and then the other one is down the start finish straight down towards La Source out of the bus stop chicane through 18 and 19, and this is where Montana is actually coming through. So let's go on board then with a lap of Belgium with our current defending champion. It's Montana, just setting up for that in the Williams. Cloud cover is just going to cause a little bit of a concern for the tyre temps. Not too much to worry about though. Montana flies it down into turn 1, takes first gear, ups it into second halfway through the corner. That's exactly what you want to be doing through La Source. Now on the run down through turn 2, and now down towards the turns 2, 3 and 4, Rouge, Radion. That is how you take that nice and crisp up there. Montana down the Kemmel Straight he comes. He's going to reach in excess of 210 mile an hour down this straight. Down the straight he comes, yeah, 210 dead on down into the braking zone of Le Combe. 29.5 through the first sector, exactly where you want to be for pole position here. And of course it is a first lap, so plenty of improvements can be found. Now down into X corner, formerly known as No Name. They have named this now, it is X corner. And then on the run down towards Pouon at turn 10. Through turn 9 he goes, now halfway through the middle sector, and now into Pouon, and then into the Stavelot section out of 14 and 15. We will get a few left and right before that as well. Through Pouon, very nice succinct line. You don't want to be catching the curb too much through Pouon, because you can spin the car and it will give you front wing damage. I know that plenty of times before because I've done it myself. Montana now through the second sector, 114.7 through the middle sector. Very nice stuff from Montana currently, and he's now through Stavelot into Blanchimont, the double left-hander through 16 and 17, and then into turn 18 and 19, the bus stop chicane. Don't worry about the yellow flags in sector 1 and sector 2, because it's probably just people preparing for a lap or either invalidating the lap and getting out of the way. Montana through the final corner, 1:43.7 was my time trial time, and that has already been completely smashed up and ripped apart. Montana with a 42.6 in the Williams. Let's focus then on somebody that is on a lap. Rick through the bus stop chicane. Our horse here tonight, of course, the horse with the most. Rick across the line, 43.5, only 9/10 off Montana. Not a bad lap there from him. We've got the two Ferraris coming through Blanchimont as well, while Luigi is off on a lap, actually. Gary Donegan, though, the Irishman, is a couple of seconds ahead of him out on track. Through the bus stop chicane he comes. There's a car just ahead as well out on track. Cookie Games that was, 43.7 across the line. Gary Donegan just split in between Rick and Cookie Games there with a 43.6, while Luigi with a 43.9, and Spine comes in just less than 1/10 of a second off on Montana. The two Swissmen dominating qualifying, currently out in front. Neil through Blanchimont and into the bus stop chicane. The German has really caught a good deal of form. 2 second places to his name in the last 2 races. Can he repeat that form here tonight? He's going to come across the line now. There's a 42.8 and he goes third, so he's not too far off the pace there at all. Less than 2/10 off. Larkin has gone fourth as well, just ahead of him. His teammate, the two Racing Points, have been qualifying quite well. Landy Forever on a lap, that was a banker lap from him. He's on a set hard compound of tyres. Only Bullet Boy and Landy Forever, both teammates, out on a set of hard compound of tyres. Kvyat Verstappen, really good since his debut here in League of Europe. I think he was promoted from League 2, from Division 2 I should say. And Verstappen has done a great job, but I may warn him that he has invalidated this lap, so he is off on this one. We'll go on board. Then I'll try and pick up on somebody. I thought I saw splashes of rain on my camera angle. It definitely looks like there's nothing out on track. It's just very, very cloudy. It might be just little fragrances of air coming through. Game Boys is off on a lap here, while Ouija off on a lap. And I definitely think it is starting to rain out on track. I'm not sure if you guys can see what I am seeing, but I think it's raining out on track. It could be my eyesight and it could be completely going. Might need to put another set of glasses on, to be honest. But it is very cloudy anyways. That's all I'm really saying on this. Montana though, Spine, Neil, your current top 3. With nearly 7 minutes gone in the session. Larkin in 4th, Rick in 5th, Gary Donegan 6th, Cookie Games in 7th, YHYY, Dakar, Waluigi, Game Boys, Bullet Boy, V5 HRL. Is he on a lap here? Let's have a look. Of course he is. Currently leading the way in the GT Sport Championship. I will not be around for GT Sport this Wednesday. If you are expecting me on that, I will not be there. So I'm away for a couple of days, but I will be back in time for next Saturday for the season finale in Brazil. V5 does improve on this lap, 9/10 up, but 44.2 there from V5HRL. Xjari just going into the pit lane there. Schiaparelli has started on a lap though. The German made his debut in GT Sport last week. Sun take a much deeper line coming down the hill through the Little King, then into turns 2, 3 and 4, up Arouge and then into Radion. Looking very nice through there, the German. Of course, he will be a lot quicker here in Formula 1 compared to his performance in GT Sport, where we did get lapped a couple of times, I do believe, at Circuit de la Sarre. 29.7 through the first sector, exactly where you want to be through the first sector. And don't worry about the grain on the tyres, they are just the shine of the tyres now on this game, and no blistering occurring down the middle of those tyres. Blue sky just beginning to try and peek through the clouds here in Belgium. Actually turn 9 and X, and really quick through there, Schiaparelli. He's on a flyer, I think, coming down towards Pouon, saving up a bit of EOS, really attacking Pouon, ups it into 7th, halfway through the corner, and this is looking good actually from the German. We'll go on to TV pod, to broadcast cam, sorry, for the rest of this lap. Schiaparelli now towards the Stavelot section of turns 14 and 15, into the middle sector split. How is he looking on his lap? 15.3, right up there with the pace, and Schiaparelli is flying here, the German, bidding to put Montana and Spine possibly in their place here with this lap. He is the only one actually out on a lap at this stage as well. We'll come on board with most of the guys that are on out laps. We'll focus on the main contenders for the moment. Schiaparelli just saving that little bit of EOS into the bus stop chicane. Oh, and he's into the pits. He's into the pits. He must have invalidated coming through Blanchimont, I think. So Schiaparelli has pitted and is off on a lap. V5HRL is back into the pit as well. I don't know where everyone is in terms of out on a lap. Montana is out on a out lap. We'll pick up on board with the first one that actually comes off the outlap, but we're halfway through. Montana, Spine, Neil, your current top 3. We are going to go on board very shortly until I find out who is first out from an outlap. We'll ride on board with whoever that person is, and it is Rick, who is just in 5th position, coming across the start-finish line into the source of turn 1. Just running a little bit shy of the curb there on the inside. Looking good though. Rick taking the more natural line down the hill in towards 2, 3 and 4 through a Rouge and Radion. And the Finn flying through there. Not the flying Finn, I'm afraid. But Rick coming up the DRS now. Again, 210 mile an hour can be reached down the straight in some setups. And 209 mile an hour it is from Rick. He's a 10th down in the first sector. He can make this up during the course of the lap. 43.5 is going to be quite hard for him to actually improve on. A little bit shaky coming out of the com. Now into X corner once again as we fly through halfway through the lap now with Rick. Then into turn 9, and then on the run down, the long run down towards P1 runs wide again. You can afford to do that. You don't pick up an invalidation there. Rick through into turn 10. Again, we'll focus on the main contenders just after this lap has been completed. But Rick on a lap currently, looking good. There are plenty of drivers out on a lap, so I'm going to try and focus on as many as I can. You will do appreciate there will be within about 30 seconds of each other, so we could see a lot of changes within the order. Rick has found time in the middle sector, however. 800 through Stavalo. He's 800 up through Stavalo and now into Blanchimont, the double left-hander. We'll really see how he attacks this. I'm going to shut up through this point. No lift off there, just the camber of the corner being hit off slightly off the curb. Rick then into the bus stop chicane, looking very nice through here. Oh, and he's into the pits. It's absolutely typical. I go on board with the driver and he's into the pits. Larkin is off a lap. He's invalidated somewhere. Neo on a lap. Montana on a lap. So we'll go on board then with Montana, then Neo, then Spine, your current top 3. Currently, Gary Donegan, the Irishman, has gone 4th. Currently best of the rest, really, in qualifying with a 43.3 for the Irishman. Good lap there. About a 10th ahead of Larkin. Montana on a lap and he's 1,000th down through the middle sector. Talk about consistency on laps. Montana taking the inside line, just coming through towards Blanchimont now. He will switch it to the left-hand side of the track, which he does. Now to the left-hand side, Verstappen has gone 4th with a 43.2. Nice lap from him. Montana now very hard onto the brakes, into the bus stop chicane. Turns 18 and 19. Through the final corners he goes. Can he get the run out? Can he improve on the run to the line? Yes, just about. I think that was a 7,000th improvement there from Montana. Neil goes quicker. Neil has gone quicker. The German goes quicker. Spine in behind has invalidated, so doesn't improve. But Neil is now on provisional pole with a 42.5. Very nice lap from him. Daka has just gone 6th in behind. The Scotsman with a 43.3, looking very good. And Gameboy is just going up into 8th there as well. Good improvement from him by nearly 5/10 of a second. 43.4 for the Haas driver. Let's go on board then further down the field. Bullet Boy is a 10th up. Xjari not on a lap. We'll go on board then with Bullet Boy as he comes through towards the Stavalo section once again. Neil, with 5 minutes just over to go within the session, leads, and Bullet Boy all out of shape on a set of medium compound of tyres. He should be improving on this lap. This is looking very scrappy though. He is 8/10 up. How on earth this is not an invalidation is beyond me at the moment, but Bullet Boy is on a lap. And he is coming towards Blanchimont, and I think as soon as I've said that, he has invalidated somewhere out on track, probably on the exit of Stavalo, I would imagine. Or is he setting up his EOS to the run to the line? Let's find out. Bullet Boy through the final 2 corners now. He is into the pits. Yeah, he has invalidated out on track is what I first thought there. Everyone really on down laps, apart from Larkin. 15 flat through the middle sector. He is up by 2/10 of a second, just over, and he's into the pits as well. What is it? Do people not want to end the lap here today? Verstappen is coming into the pits just ahead of him. Spine, Montana, Neil, your current top 3. None of these guys are on any sort of a lap. We'll go on board then with Xjari in the Mercedes, who is currently on board with a lap. First time I think I've commentated on him in quite a while. On a lap, certainly. 46.3 is current personal best. Should be looking to improve, but that ERS makes me think he might run out of ERS towards the end of this lap. He's only on 5% down into the bus stop chicane, does gain it up double that, and then he's another one going into the pits. Goodness me, X-Cherry is into the pit. It's only V5HRL then is out on the lap. I'm going to shut up for a minute from commentary. I'm going to take a minute's break. I'll be back in just a moment. X-Jerry to the end of his lap, V5HRL to the end of his lap, 43.6. Nice lap there from V5HRL, goes into 10th position. Very nice lap there from him. Neo still out on top. 3 minutes to go. The final lap's about to be had here in qualifying. And I'm going to check the comments though in the meantime as well, see how you guys are doing in the comments section. June coming in saying Neil will win the race. Neil will win. He's currently on provisional pole. I like your thinking. I however think he won't win, but you'll find out my prediction in just a little bit. He was 8 tenths up but he touched the grass, says Bullet Boy. Yeah, we sadly caught that on stream, I'm afraid. Not the best thing to do while you're on board. Well, I'm on board with you on a lap. That's the worst thing that could possibly happen. Don't let the pressure get to you. That's the best thing you can do. Don't let me judge you either, because honestly, that'll end up quite bad. We'll focus on the German at the minute. Landy Forever, 204.3. That was a bank lap purely. He's obviously been getting invalidated laps currently. We can't make out of much of him at this moment in time. With 2 minutes to go in qualifying, I would expect him to improve. Chapelelli is about to start a lap. I said medium compound of tyres, so he looks confident to possibly go 4th position, I think, here, Chapelelli. Now down into turn 1 at La Source. And Chapelelli through turn 1 at La Source. Very nicely done indeed. And the Red Bull driver now running down the hill towards a Rouge and Radion once again. And the German really attacks that section. Really looking nice through there. Chapelelli then on the run towards Le Combe. This long Kemmel straight. Left hand side is Dutch corner. Or where the Dutch fan base normally is. 29.8 through the first sector is not too shabby on a set of medium compound tyres. Right up there in terms of the sector times through the first sector. Of course, the second sector and the final sector will prove to be the real deciding factors here in qualifying. The first sector quite easy. If you can nail the Rouge and Radion, it's quite easy to get around. Chapelelli now down towards Pouon, just picks up a little bit of the grass. V5HRL not improving on a lap. He is retired in sector 3. I would imagine that was in the pit lane. Chapelelli through Pouon looking very nice there indeed. So V5HRL can only expect 10th or he can only expect a maximum of 10th position really he can start, which will mean he will have to qualify on a set of soft will have to race on a set of soft compound of tyres. Chapelelli through the middle sector, 115.5, looking very nice through there. Can he stick it between Spine and Verstappen, which is where I have a feeling he is probably going to put his time here with this lap. It's looking good so far from the German. Through into the bus stop chicane on potentially his final lap. We've got a lot of other drivers out on a lap as well. Chapelelli around the final corner, not going to be too far off. 43.6 from Chapelelli, the German, as we are pretty much time out in qualifying. Game Boys and Kooky Games not improving. Rick through the final sector. I'll just pick up if anybody else of the leaders is coming through the final sector. They're not, so I'm going to go on board with Rick and we'll focus then on the top 3 as well. Chapelelli retires from the session, is happy with that. He'll be hoping for more improvements further down. Well, Ouija could be a big factor to improve, as somebody has just improved. YHY up to 12th. Rick across the line does improve, goes 8th. Good 8th position there from him. Landy Forever is up on his time as well. Neil through the final sector, 1700s up through the middle sector. I think he's got to find at least a 10th to put Montana under a lot of pressure here. Neil through the bus stop chicane, really attacking that curb, attacks the second curb, just rides it a little bit too much on the exit of the final corner, runs to the line. 42.7, he lost time at the final corners. 42.7 there. How is Spine looking? Montana is 2 tenths up. Montana is 2 tenths up towards the bus stop chicane. nobody has improved further down the field that I can notice. Landy Forever, by the way, has gone 14th with a 43. Bullet Boy has gone 4th with the same time as Spine. Montana across the line now sets fastest lap, 3/10 improvement. Montana takes pole position, I think, unless Spine is finding something, which he is. He's 3/10 up. Can Spine find something through the bus stop chicane? Can he nick it for Montana across the line? Oh, it's just shy. Oh, I can't believe it. He invalidated on the lap, and it would have been 1,000th quicker than Montana. It would have been 1,000th quicker. He sets the same time as Bullet Boy, though. That is a stonking lap from Bullet Boy in 4th. But we'll have the grid order from qualifying in just a moment. Dramatic scenes as Montana takes it late on in qualifying. By 0.2 of a second as well. Very closely compact grid. This should be an exciting race. Montana takes pole position then, as expected. Neo in 2nd, Spine in 3rd. The same time set by Spine and Bullet Boy, though, 3rd and 4th. Good lap from them. Larkin, Dakar, X-Jerry, Verstappen, Gary Donegan into 9th. Good lap from him. And Rick in 10th. They all start on the set soft compound of tyres, with them being in the top 10. Game Boy's only 4 thousandths off in 11th, with Chapelelli in 12th. 3 set of tyres for him. V for Veteral, YHYY, Kooky Games, Landy Forever on his debut, 1.5 seconds off. And while Luigi's starting from the back, the home boy needs to do a lot better than that if he wants to hang on for his 2nd position here in the championship, with Neo starting right up there at the top of the grid. Ooh, this is going to be quite interesting. Do make your predictions, by the way, in the top 3. 12 of you are viewing. Thank you very much for tuning in to each and every one of you. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the stream so far. I'm just tuning into the comment section to have a look. Bullet Boy very happy with his lap. That was unexpected, says Dakar. And Montana coming in and saying, even lost a 10th in this rubbish downhill corner. Yeah. Well, still, he pulls it out the fire and gets that provisional pole. I will be back, though, in 30 seconds, as we will count down the start of the Belgian Grand Prix very shortly indeed. There's no countdown music or chain coming on like in another league. So, formation lap about to begin then here in League of Europe Division 1, and Montana with 22 laps between himself and a potential 6th victory in a row. He leads us off on this formation lap, and we will talk you through the grid order. The bottom 7 being quite even on the strategies, all going for a set of medium compound of tyres, which makes my life a lot easier because I've just explained what the bottom 7 are doing. Game Boy, Chapelelli, Viva Heteral, YHYY, Kooky Games, Landy Forever on his debut, and Waluigi all on the set of medium compound of tyres. Of course, set soft compound of tyres for the top 10 are the ones that they've qualified on, so they will be getting a bit worn. And again, the cloud cover is pretty much the same from qualifying in game yesterday. Of course, it is literally about 2 seconds ago we had qualifying. Pretty much same around the cloud levels, so the mediums will eventually come into their own. We should be seeing the likes of Chapelelli, I think, gaining through the field, while Luigi, I think, will be a one to watch further down the field as well, starting right from the back in 17th position. And Landy Forever and Waluigi actually taking their time on this lap as well. Montana not hanging around, pretty much like Verstappen, remember, in Germany, in that Verstappen, it was either Germany or Italy this season, and he set such a quick out lap on a formation lap, and this is exactly what Montana is trying to do. But, of course, the tyre levels will, of course, even out when they come back onto the grid. There is no realism in terms of any strategies or any coldness of the tyres when they come into this. Montana, though, out on top with Neo in 2nd, Spine in 3rd position. Who are your favourites? Put it down in the comment section. Who is your top 3? I will make mine now. Montana to take the win, Neo for 2nd, and for a bit of a wild one, as I like to do with my predictions, Verstappen for 3rd. Verstappen for 3rd. I think he might just excel around this track, to be honest. Kooky Games is way off the back end, so we're going to be waiting an age for him. And everyone now lining up onto the grid for this race about to begin in League of Europe, the penultimate round of the championship. As I say, Cookie Games taking his time. He is coming through the bus stop chicane now and will rejoin in that 15th position as the only grid slot that is free out on track, and will go on board with a bit of a shocking camera angle. Lights out just moments away here in Belgium. So the drivers prepare for 5 red lights. The green flags are on. 5 red lights about to go out here for the penultimate round of the championship in Division 1. Lights out and away we go, and Montana gets a very good start from the line. Neo and Spine just in behind as well. Bullet Boy trying to go around the outside of Spine into turn 1. Has to have him down the inside as Game Boy's got to watch out going down into the source. And everyone respectful, clean through. Gary Donegan and Chapelletti having a bit of a battle further down the field, and Rick and Gary Donegan, going side by side in the background. Montana though leads them through a Rouge. Anyone getting through there safely? Is everyone through there safely? McLaren running wide as V5HRL. He rejoins track safely, but everyone is through, and it's side by side for the lead. 3 wide possibly, with Spine trying to go up the inside. Montana holding the inside line. Neil on the inside line now into Lecombe. Montana holds the inside line and holds the lead. Great one-on-one action there between them both. Spine is up into 3rd. Bullet Boy in 4th. Larkin in 5th. Pretty much good battling going on so far. Landy Forever is dropping down the field with Waluigi, YHYY. They're all battling further down the field. But Montana has held on to the lead of the race by 0.3 of a second, down to Puon for the first time. Neo in 2nd, Spine in 3rd, Bullet Boy in 4th. We'll watch everyone through here. Larkin, Jerry just coming through with Daka, Verstappen, Rick, Chapelletti through the top 10. Game Boys in 11th, Cookie Games in 12th with... and 13th, YHYY. Gary Donegan and Landy Forever going side by side, and Landy Forever, the German, ran the outside of Gary Donegan, who has got left side end plate damage. He's picked that up early on, and Gary Donegan dropping through the field, and I have a feeling he is going to be coming into the pits and is probably going to get out of the way of these guys. There is a yellow flag in sector 3, and Chapelletti is out. Chapelletti is out at Stavolo, and there he is on the left hand side of the track. Not sure what happened there. It might have just been a bit of oversteer through the curb, trying to take a flat out. Never works if you do try and take a flat out within the race. But at the end of lap 1, Montana leads the way, but he's under pressure from the German. Montana leads 3.5 tenths across the line for the first time. Montana with a new fastest lap of the race, of course, 50.2. Neo in 2nd, Spine in 3rd, Bullet Boy in 4th, Larkin 5th, Xjavi 6th, Daka in 7th. Good starts from the Mercedes. Let's have a dissect then of the position changes. Quite a few position changes down the field. Cookie Games again 4, Landy Forever and Waluigi again 3 respectfully. Everyone through nice and safely once again. We'll go back on board with the battle for the lead as he tries to split the toe here. Montana running down the straight. He will hold on to the lead of the race as they come down into Lecombe. Bit of a shocking camera angle, but down into Lecombe they go, and it's still pretty much as you were. Daka and Verstappen now battling out for 7th and 8th. 2 QVR boys about to do battle. One of my predictions for the top 3, of course, Verstappen. And if you can make up ground past the likes of Xjavi and just contact the back end actually of Daka, a little bit of contact between the 2 QVR boys there. But they come through X corner now down to Puon once again, and Verstappen right all over the back of Daka as they come through Puon once again. For the second time out on track. There's Montana beginning to pull away slightly, 0.6 of a second out in front. Neo in 2nd, Spine in 3rd, Bullet Boy in 4th, with Larkin 5th, Xjavi 6th, Daka 7th, Verstappen 8th, Rick 9th, Game Boys in 10th. Pretty much the order as you were as they came across the line. Gary Donegan has been into the pits, gone for 7 medium compounded tyres. He will be on a 2-stop strategy, while Luigi further down the field is on the back of Landy Forever as they come through Stavolo once again. This is the 13th and 14th place currently out on track. And this is really going to impact on Waluigi's championship plans here. Of course, the top 12 do get points within League of Europe. Waluigi right on the back of Landy Forever, trying to see him off down into the bus stop chicane. He's got to be late on the brakes around the outside here. Landy Forever sticks it up the inside, pulling the inside line now. Waluigi, I think he'll pull off this move. Landy Forever gets the traction off the corner, the side by side, running down towards the source, and Waluigi is just going to pull this off. Chapelletti is left after his crash at Stavolo. Waluigi pulls off the move and he's up to 13th position. Landy Forever will keep him honest though in there. Neil just cutting the corner and picks up a 3-second time penalty. We just saw the end of that. Bullet Boy is now pressurising Spine. A good start by Bullet Boy, actually. Further down the field, just in the background, going above the wrong guy. Verstappen has gone past Daka for 7th position to come into Lecom. Verstappen with the DRS, opened it up, and is up to 7th place and is making eye-catching progress through the field. Landy Forever and Waluigi going once again side by side through Lecom, and Landy Forever has pulled off the move on Waluigi once again. These two are going to be squabbling at it for pretty much the whole race, I would think. Landy Forever back up into 13th position, Waluigi down to 14th, so they swap positions, and they're the only real swappers so far on lap 3. Of course, DRS enabled on this lap. We have seen a few overtakes already this lap, but Montana leads by 6/10 of a second. Everyone quite evenly spaced out within the top 10, I would say. Cookie Games as well, 11th, 7/10 off Game Boys. It's only Landy Forever and Waluigi that are quite close to each other at this stage. Of course, do be expecting the guys to come into the pits quite early, I would imagine. Round lap maybe 6, maybe 7 for the top runners, and probably halfway point for the medium runners. That's how I would see it anyways. I might be wrong with the laps by 1 or 2, or maybe even 5 or 6. You never know. I'm not a driver, I'm a commentator, so don't judge me. Montana leads the way, very squirrely out of the final corner there at the bus stop chicane. And Montana leads the way. The sun is now poking its nice head through the clouds. Montana leads the way, so the track temperature will be now beginning to warm up. The softs will begin to come into play rather than the mediums, as Montana leads the way through a Rouge and Radion once again, but Neo is hunting him down like a hawk in 2nd position. He's got his target set, running down the straight, but he's not going to be close enough down the Kemmel straight, and Neo gets within a 10th and a half down into the braking zone. Rick down the inside of Daka. Cookie Games has got Game Boys in behind as well. They're going side by side. Well, they were going side by side. The Cookie Games are through into 10th. Waluigi down the inside on Landy Forever. Late on the brakes, I think that was from Waluigi, and the Belgian is back up past Landy Forever. And Landy Forever doing a good job so far on his debut, keeping Waluigi quite honest, especially because Waluigi is a championship contender for that 2nd place within the championship. Of course, anything can happen here in Belgium. We have seen Chapelletti, of course, crash out at Stavelot. Not sure if there was contact with another driver or possibly contact with the wall. It might have been a bit of a glitch, because I know I've seen the wall glitch coming back out, the barrier glitch coming back out to play on Codemasters. They need to get that fixed before. Very wide there from Neo at Stavelot. Just loses a little bit of time running down into the straight, running down the straight now through Blanchimont. And now into Blanchimont, and then into bus stop. Daka and Rick are going side by side, and Daka's pulled that off. Round the outside he goes, through Blanchimont, or into Blanchimont, and Daka's got the move done. He's up to 8th position. Rick might be coming into the pits. No, he's not. I thought he was going to edge into the pits there. Lap 5 out of 22. Montana leads the way. B5H12 right on the back of Landy Forever though in the meantime for 14th and 15th. Of course, I do like to provide you guys with the best possible action and the closest possible action out on track. We'll go on board with the battle for lead in a little while. Landy Forever is under pressure now from V5HRL, the current leader in the GT Sports standings. Not doing as well within the F1 standings, but he is doing a good job nonetheless. He's in 15th and he will hunt down Landy Forever. We're back on board with the battle for the lead. Nobody really close enough. Rick has gone back through on Daka. They did swap positions, and Rick has gone through very similar to last lap. He's gone through at Lecom. Will Daka come back, I wonder, through bus stop and Blanchimont area, I wonder. V5HRL is passed on Landy Forever, and he's up into 14th position. In the meantime, we'll go back on board with the battle for Lee. Montana keeping Neil honest out in front, 4/10 of a second between them both. The Spine in 3rd, Bullet Boy in 4th, Larkin in 5th. The top 5 now begin to pull away. Xjavi and Verstappen are right on top of each other. 6th and 7th currently out on track for the Mercedes and the Dutchman of Verstappen, the McLaren of course. And Xjavi coming through Stavelot once again will get pressurised by Verstappen coming through Blanchimont and then to the bus stop chicane. We'll ride on board with him now as he comes towards Blanchimont. I'm just going to shut up for a minute as we see him go flat out through Blanchimont. Yeah, perfectly flat out through there, and he's catching within the slipstream. Getting a tall bit of dirty air. Neo is into the pit. I was wondering why he was losing positions. Neo is into the pits. Verstappen on the back of Xjavi, not going to get the move done there. So, Neo first into the pits. I said around lap 6, lap 7. Pretty much the perfect point, I think, to start making your pit stops. Neo into the pits. 16 laps on a set of mediums can be done, but they're going to be quite worn towards the end of the race. I have seen somebody do 20 laps before getting a puncture here before, and that was on the old game, so don't do that if you are listening in. You don't want to be the one that blames me for your championship. Bullet Boy right on the back of Spine for third place. Verstappen has gone waltzing through on Xjavi further down, or just in behind that battle actually. Verstappen is now into 5th position, Xjavi into 6th. Rickens keeping Daka honest as well. Daka trying to catch. So we go on with a beautiful helicopter cam here. Lap 6 out of 22, it's Montana who leads, 1.5 seconds. We'll have to say that pretty much a qualifying lap on his in-lap if he is going to respond to Neo, who has rejoined in 15th and in clear air, roughly. In clear air. He has got the medium runners to probably go through until around the halfway stage, I would imagine. Lap 10, lap 11, I'm thinking, for the mediums. But Montana leading the way. Bullet Boy is on the back of Spine, though, for 2nd place. And Bullet Boy coming back into his own so far. Not making any mistakes out on track. Got a great qualifying position, of course. Has gained 1 position, plenty position gains, but that's only because of a few pit stops being made and plenty of actually position gains out on track, which is good to see. Montana responds. He's into the pits. Montana into the pits from the lead of the race. Anyone responding in behind? Larkin in, Verstappen in, Xjavi continues on. I think Rick might have been coming into the pits as well, but Spine leads the way. It's Daka, sorry, coming into the pits. Spine leads the way by 4/10 of a second. Montana will go on to set medium compound tyres. There will be a lap pressure coming towards the end of the race, and they do stick their tyres on. Larkin, everyone going for set of mediums who have came into the pits. Plenty position gains, as you can probably tell. Neo is out in front of Montana, is he? Let's have a look as we ride on board. They're pretty much side by side. It's Montana just ahead of Landy Forever. Ooh, who was trying to get past Montana there. That was a bit cheeky there from Landy Forever. Trying to give Montana a bit of a headache, but now it could give Neo a bit of a headache because he's now in the slipstream of Landy Forever. Landy Forever right on the back of Montana. This is for 10th and 11th, further down the field. Montana launches it down the inside. V5 sticks a car now in between them, and Landy Forever and V5 are going to have to do a bit of a job here. Neo is now going to try and launch it down the inside, I think on one of them at least, but he is being held up here. He is held up in traffic. V5 and Landy Forever could be costing Neo a potential race win here tonight, and we have seen it so many times this season in League of Europe Division 1, where traffic has cost drivers. Landy Forever runs wide through Pouon. Neo down the inside line should get him down towards Stavolo, and he has got the move done, and Landy Forever drops back in. Good stuff there. Good special awareness by the German, rejoined in a safe manner, and Neo is through and he's up for 11th place. What does V5 do in this point? All of that battling between V5 and Landy Forever has cost Neo nearly 2 seconds. Nearly 2 seconds out on track. Bullet Boy got past Spine, by the way, down the Camel Straight. He went into the lead and all into the pits. Rick should be coming in as well. All soft runners in then on this lap, on lap 8 out of 22, as we go on to lap 8 out of 22 with these guys. Neo trying to fight past V5 It's not an easy task for Neo. He has got the DRS open now. Is he going to try and switch it back through the source? He's trying to go around the outside into the source at turn 1. He will have the traction on the outside of the corner, and that is job done from Neo. V5 that is Bullet Boy just coming out and all of this as well. It's side by side running down the straight. Bullet Boy I think is just ahead. It's side by side running through the Rouge and Marion, and Neo somehow pulls it off. How on earth did that come about? Bullet Boy at the pits. V5 Landy Forever are getting involved in this as well. This is unreal racing, guys. Oh, Bullet Boy has recently just came out of the pits. Neo and himself were going side by side down towards Rouge and Radion. Spine is caught up in all of this as well. This is unbelievable. Traffic costing potential podiums here out on track tonight. V5 and Larkin is getting caught up in this as well. Verstappen. So this really, the top 5 getting affected here. Larkin has got a racing point behind him. What does he do? Does he let through? Oh, Larkin down the inside of Pouon. Job done. really picked out that move to perfection. Larkin has been showing a lot of good driving in the last few weeks. We have given him so many credits, and that's another credit I'm going to give him. That was phenomenal. Down the inside of V Perpetual, he gets the move done. YHYY and Waluigi in the meantime have swapped positions. Montana in clear air. Neil now in clear air, but he's got Bullet Boy right over the back of him. Spine and Landy Forever now going at it. The Swiss man down the inside into Blanchimont gets the move done on Landy Forever, who is still keeping him honest. Is he going to try and launch it down the inside? He's not. He thinks second of it. And Landy Forever not into the pits, but the traffic costing a lot of people and a lot of time as V Perpetual finally relinquishes and comes into the pits. Maybe just a little bit too early there, I would imagine. If that's for another set of, if that's for a set of softs, that's way too early. Larkin right on the back of Landy Forever though. Landy Forever still to pit, of course. Top four still to pit, which means Montana is in the net lead of the race. Larkin much better exit through Rouge and Radion. V Perpetual goes on for a set of hards to the end of the race, and Larkin, with Spine not getting any DRS either. Landy Forever got to be careful. He doesn't want to come across on Larkin, trying to go around the outside onto the inside line now. Through they come, and again Larkin pulling off a fantastic move. The Brit is flying here in Belgium. He has really shown himself up to be a potential leading candidate for next season, and Larkin once again picks out his moves to absolute perfection, regardless of whether they are on 6 lap older tyres than Larkin. Landy Forever in that case. But he's got the move done, and Larkin is up to 9th position at this moment in time, and he's in actually to a net P5. And what makes it even more sweeter, Verstappen is losing time behind him as well, so Larkin beginning to pull out that gap further. We'll go on board with Gary Donegan and V5HRL. Of course, V5HRL recently out the pits. Gary Donegan, as a result of damage right at the back of the field, had left side end plate damage from lap 1. There was obviously a bit of squabbling that went on between himself and another driver. Verstappen up the inside of Blanchimont. No, in the meantime, Landy Forever, they lean on each other through there. Can Verstappen pull off the move around the outside into bus stop? Yes, he can. Verstappen ran the outside line onto the inside line through bus stop. Fantastic driving here tonight in Division 1, and Verstappen pulls off the move. Daka is through on Rick as well. Rick is into the pits actually. How's he picked up damage, I wonder? The Toro Rosso man. He's into the pits. Whether he is going to go for a different strategy remains to be seen. While Ouija though in the meantime right on the back of Game Boys running down the Kemmel straight, and the Ferrari now right around the outside of the Haas, and it's job done for Waluigi, and it's job done as well for Montana in behind. He gets the move done past YHYY, and he is up into 4th position, currently out on track. Neo and Bullet Boy still going at it in the meantime. We are nearly at halfway. This has been a phenomenal race so far. Great action by a majority of the drivers out on track. Cookie Games currently leads, while Ouija second, Game Boys in third. Ignore them for the time being because they still need to come into the pits. Montana in 4th, YHYY also needs to come into the pits. Neo in 6th, Bullet Boy 7th, Spine in 8th, Larkin 9th, Verstappen 10th. Landy Forever doing a good job and keeping everyone really quite honest tonight, showing he has got the pace to line up with the best of them. In 11th, Xjerry in 12th, Daka 13th, Gary Donegan 14th has gone past VPFH, well out on track. Rick is down in 16th after coming out of the pits on a set of medium compound of tyres. Montana then hunting down Game Boys for 3rd position. We should be seeing the medium runners begin to pit now. I said lap 10, lap 11 around the halfway stage. This is where we should get some of the pit stops now beginning to happen. Cookie Games not into the pits. And all 3 of them not into the pits, and YHY not into the pits either. So Montana right on the back of Game Boys. We provide you with a POV shot of Montana. He is going to wait until the Kemmel straight though to get this move done. He could have easily tried to launch it down the inside and put Game Boys in the picture of Neo, and Bullet Boy is right on the back of Neo, just in the background of shot. They were just appearing into the camera shot there. 4/10 of a second between them both. We'll go on board with that just shortly as Montana eyes up the move here on Game Boys, running down the Kemmel straight. This is already going to be job done for Montana. Easily got the straight line speed, he's got the move done. Bullet Boy in the meantime trying to chase down Neo. Neo has got DRS as well on YHYY. They stay as they are at the minute. So Montana leads currently in the net lead of the race. 1.6 I make that as currently 2 seconds between himself and Neil, which will be the lead coming out of the pit lane once again when Cookie Games, Waluigi and the likes come out of the pits. So Andy Forever as well, still to come out of the pits. He is in 12th at the minute, not losing too much time to X-Jarry, which is good to see. We've gone board then with Neil, who is on the back of YHYY. As I say, we're only halfway through, and it's been a phenomenal race once again. Division 1 levels peaking right at the last moment. Bullet Boy, how on earth has he kept it out the wall? Ran over the curb just that little bit too much. How on earth has he not crashed that into the wall? How on earth has he not got any damage? How on earth has he not got any damage? Neo is right on the back of YHYY, trying to go around the outside of Blanchimon. He is going to try and hide up into the bus stop chicane now, though. Late on the brakes. Switchback, I think, here could work for Neo. Game Boys is coming into play as well. Bullet Boy, though, is regaining the time back on Neo, and Neo being held up once again here. All of this adding into the play of Montana, and the gap is extending to around 3 seconds. It's around 2.6, I think, at the minute. Yeah, it is 2.7 seconds out on track between Montana and Neo for the net lead of the race. Neo takes it flat out through there. Bullet Boy has lost a little bit of time, but has gained time actually on Spine, who was in behind, and now are we going to get a free-for-all down the straight? Game Boys keeping out of the way. Neo stays in behind YHYY. Wise decision that. Game Boys has lost 2 positions as a result. He's only lost 1 position as a result of that. Bullet Boy now on the back of Game Boys. All this traffic beginning to tell, and Montana on the back of the leaders beginning to get held up here as well. And it's Cookie Games. Might come back to haunt him here, actually, Cookie Games. I remember, I think it was a couple of races ago, that Montana had Cookie Games in front of him, and he's trying to go around the outside line, and the Slovenian's trying to defend the position that isn't really his. And this has been a little bit over-aggressive, to be honest, from Cookie Games, trying to force Montana off track, and that is very unsensitive driving there from Cookie Games. Might need a look into by the stewards. More over-aggressive driving there from the Slovenian. Not having that, I'm afraid. Montana 4 tenths behind on Cookie Games. Cookie Games driving him off the track, trying to defend the position that really is not his. He is still to come into the pits, but in the meantime, Neo is trying to get the job done on YHYY. Down into the bus stop chicane again, much later on the brakes this time. And YHYY not fighting this, I don't think, down the inside. And Neo, again, just forcing him off. YHYY, with Neo now got the DRS. Down the straight, Montana is ahead of Cookie Games. Down into turn 1, Cookie Games on the inside line. There's battles going on left, right and centre here. Bullet Boys up the inside of Game Boys, gets the move done. Just forcing him off track slightly, not too much. Montana has finally got past Cookie Games. Goodness me, a lot happening in a short space of time. While Ouija has now got out in front by 1.6 seconds. Still yet to come into the pits as yellow flag in sector 1 and YHYY has crashed. Where is that? Right hand side, similar to what we saw earlier on in Formula 2, right back in Belgium in August. That horrible crash, of course, with Correa and Hubert. He has lost it just purely on the curb, coming through Rouge and into Radion. He's lost the curb and he's out the race. The Finn, sadly, out the race. Couldn't recover the car in time, I'm afraid. Well, Luigi leads the way. 1.4 seconds. Has gained a bit of time. Trying to go on a bit of a waltzing strategy here, I've got to be honest. He will be ahead of Gary Donegan, by the way, when he comes out the pits. Eventually, he will. Montana in second. Cookie Games with a little bit of over-aggressive driving. Oh, and he has gone onto the curb and he spun. Cookie Games is into the wall. Just about, he bounced off, his rear wheel hit the wall actually on the outside. He rejoined in a safe manner. There is X-Jerry just going around the outside of him. Cookie Games lost it on the curb. We were on board with him there. He hasn't picked up any damage, but look at the rear end. The gravel has filled up the tyres quite quickly there with him being off track. Larkin right on the back of Game Boys though. This is for a net P5 for Larkin. Right around the outside he goes. Beautiful job on Game Boys. Gets the move done. Lap 14 out of 22. 8 more laps to go. While Luigi leads. The homeboy leading. Trying to get a bit of airtime, I think, out in front. We'll give him that airtime out in front. Cookie Games is finally into the pits. Had to with that moment that he had, and with him being into the gravel. Waluigi though leading and is holding Montana at bay. 1.1 seconds the gap. Closing in obviously, but Neo in behind is in third and not really getting any closer. 1.6 seconds. All that traffic has really cost Neo potential chance of the win. Remember, I think it was only 0.3 of a second as Game Boys is back on Larkin, right around the outside into Lacombe. Larkin holds the position and Game Boys just nearly chopped him on the inside. What happens here? Because Verstappen right on the back of him. Oh, Game Boys has a moment. Goodness me, good recovery again from Game Boys, similar to what we saw with Bullet Boy earlier on. And Bullet Boy is only 0.6 off on Neo. What could have been if he didn't make that mistake? Game Boys holds it. He will have to come into the pits though on this lap. Those tyres are going a lot. I'm going to take a brief break from commentary. I will be back in just a minute. So Game Boys has actually lost it coming just before Stavolo. Apologies about the slight little remit and being late to the party there with that. Game Boys has lost it. Obviously got caught on the curb, has lost it purely into the wall, tried to recover the car and he's gone into the wall and he's at the race. This in time, I do apologise about that. This in time and V5HRL is out of the race. V5HRL is out of the race. So I'm not sure what is going on. Quite a few moments here out on track. Well, Montana chasing down Waluigi down the Camel Straight. He is going to get the job done. And the Swiss man easily just cuts across him and takes the lead of the race. Verstappen passed on Larkin. He's up into an P5 as a result. That V5HRL is out of the race. Not sure where that happened out on track. Hopefully we can get a response from him either on Discord or on the YouTube in the comment section, of course. We'll have a look on board though in the meantime if anything has been said in Discord. This season literally nothing works out for me, says Game Boys. He is out of the race, I'm afraid. Obviously was, I think, going to come into the pits on that lap as well, but still a good effort from Game Boys. Deserves a lot of credit, putting some of the guys up at bay. Larkin trying to chase down Verstappen. Daka picks up a 3-second time penalty. We'll focus then on the battle for second. It's still quite condensed, this battle. Neo and Bullet Boy for a net P2 out on track. It's 2.3 seconds between Montana and, well, and Neo, sorry, it's 1.6 between Waluigi and Montana. Waluigi should be into the pits, I would think. No, next lap around for Waluigi. Lap 16 out of 22. We've only got 6 more laps to go. Montana leads, Waluigi second, Neo third, Bullet Boy fourth, Spine in fifth, Verstappen in sixth, Larkin seventh. Trying to hunt him down in the background, 0.4 of a second as they come through the source once again. Let's just have a look at the comment section coming through. Del Wallen coming in and saying he owes me a 5 from like 2 months ago from this track. I'm not sure who you're on about. And Keystone saying this is hilarious, can I play? It's not hilarious when people do crash out of the race, and if you are actually committed to driving on Formula 1, then sign-ups will open up in January for next season. That's just as a brief interlude to that. Larkin has got the move done on Verstappen in the meantime and is up into 6th position. 0.3 of a second now separating these two out on track. As I like to describe, the yo-yo effect beginning to happen between these two. They will chop and change the positions. 6th and 7th will constantly go either way. So Verstappen will probably get Larkin, I would imagine, down through Blanchimont or down on the main straight down towards La Source, or he will get him down the Kemmel Straight towards turn 5 at the end of the first sector. Neo on the back of Waluigi, 0.3 of a second though in between these two. Bullet Boy could begin to come into this as well, 0.3 of a second, with Neo trying to hunt him down. Waluigi, of course, still yet to come into the pits. The Belgian driver at his home track. Cloud cover increasing here out on track, which means the softs will begin to run at a worse temperature compared to the mediums. The mediums will be a lot warmer compared to the softs, and again Waluigi not coming into the pits yet. Plenty of waha-hees, I think, going on out on track for Waluigi. But in the meantime, he's 2/10 off. Neil was 2/10 off on Waluigi in the meantime. There's a lot of comments coming through. I will try and respond to them in just a moment. I will try and get to them before the end, of course. Montana leads 2.1 seconds, but the battle for second heating up. Waluigi, Neil, Bullet Boy, 4, second, third and fourth out on track. Neil, the German, trying to chase down the Belgian. The Belgian is going to go to the inside line. Down into the comms, sorry. Oh! Neil chops him up on the inside, and Waluigi is round. Waluigi is round. Not too much space given there between them both. Neil is round. Waluigi is round. Neil, I think, just cut him up on the inside purely. Might be considered a racing incident. Waluigi looked like he got up on the curb a little bit too much as well. But Waluigi now down into 7th place. He was going to be losing ground anyways, I would have suspected, with Neil and Bullet Boy possibly going past him. And Neil and Bullet Boy still holding on at this moment in time. Good evening to J. Cole tuning in as well. And V5 Etrol saying he binned it at this exit of Stavelot. That corner does seem to catch people out, and in fact, that's the corner these guys are coming through now for the battle for second. Neil and Bullet Boy out on track. We've got Verstappen and Larkin going at it as well, just in behind the McLaren and the Racing Point. They've been pretty much joined at the hip throughout this race. Game Boys leads the session. We thank him, of course, for attending and participating in the race, even though it wasn't the result he hoped for. We, of course, hope that he does have a better race next time in Brazil for the final round of the championship, believe it or not. Final round of the championship next week. 5 laps to go, including this one that Montana has just got onto. He leads the way by 2.2 seconds and has got the measure, I'm going to say, of Neo, with the lap pressure tyres as well in second position. Bullet Boy in third, Spine in fourth. The battle you guys are on board with, though, at the meantime is Verstappen and Larkin. YHYY has left the session again. We thank him for attending and participating. Larkin taking it flat out. Look at this. Look at the run compared to Verstappen. Verstappen slow out of the corner. And Larkin, look at him. It's literally, he's got like a rocket booster on that car. He goes flying past him down the Kemmel Straight. And Larkin has got the move done. 2.7 seconds behind Spine now. And Larkin is through and he's up to P5. Verstappen, my prediction for a third place from him at the start of this race. Not looking too choppy, I've got to admit. He's doing a good job. Waluigi is still going round out on track. He hasn't lost too much pace out of those tyres. 17 laps on those mediums. He must be feeling he is an absolute loon to try and go towards the end of this race on that set of mediums. You would have thought they would have put by now, but they haven't. They haven't. Waluigi is still going, and I commend him for still going in 7th position. Of course, Neo and Waluigi had that contact. We will get it, of course, investigated if a incident report is put into the stewards. Front wing damage just coming through there. I think that might have been from earlier on. As Montana leads the way through into the bus stop chicane once again. 2.1 seconds. With Montana leading the way. Neil in second, Bullet Boy in third, Spine fourth. Others in a position. Let's have a look at the position gains. Waluigi has gained 10. Is he finally going to relinquish that position? No, he's still going. Waluigi's still going out on track. He is going to be quick towards the end of the race, don't get me wrong, but I think he's overcooked this strategy a little bit too much. He's 1.9 seconds off. He's losing around 5 tenths per sector, I'm making it out as at the minute. So Waluigi will be overtaken by Xjavi probably towards the end of this lap. Verstappen takes a very awkward line coming out of Arouge and Radion. Does gain the time though through there. Look at him. Verstappen with the DRS open is going to waltz past Larkin once again. So Verstappen up to P5, Larkin back down to P6. These two again with the yo-yo effect that is happening now on track. Larkin just taking a little bit too much speed there compared to Verstappen, who defended the line as is his wont. Nothing could be done about that. Larkin was going to stay in behind anyways. And Verstappen up to P5. Still a battle for second. There is another battle going on further down the field, which I will come on to now. It's Landy Ferrero, a debutant, against Kooky Games. Kooky Games, who I've got to admit has caused a little bit of controversy, I think, in this race. And I'm not going to make any comments towards him, but it will be investigated. I'm sure of it. It will be investigated what happened earlier on in the race. He is in trouble. Might be a smacked hand and a slap on the wrist, possibly, for Kooky Games at the end of this race. Of course, the stewards will have to go and have a look at footage that I did pick up. It was a moment of fighting with the traffic. Landy Forever is on the back of him, though, in the meantime. As they come towards the Stavelot section once again. Verstappen, 3-second time penalty. I will go on board, actually, with the penalties now. The action just in behind on the screen. Montana's picked up a warning. Neo has picked up a penalty. Bullet Boy has picked up 2 warnings, so could be getting that second place. Spine has picked up 2 warnings. Verstappen has picked up 2 penalties. Larkin has picked up a penalty and 2 warnings, while Ouija has picked up a warning as well. X-Jarry has picked up nothing. Good from him. Daka with a penalty. Kooky Games and Landy Forever going at it in the background of shot. Landy Forever tries to go up the inside of Kooky Games into the bus stop chicane. Not going to happen. 3 penalties for Kooky Games. Landy Forever has picked up 3 warnings. Gary Donegan's still going. He's just in behind this, actually, with 2 penalties. And Rick has got 2 warnings. And they're the only ones still going round out on track at this moment in time. Verstappen right down the back, and it's starting to rain out on track, I do believe it is. It's raining out on track. It is raining here in Belgium, right at the end of the race, similar to what I had in TTL F1 on Thursday. Of course, if you do want to follow me on that, you can watch that back on the TTTV channel. That's where I commentate regularly, to be honest, during the week. Montana will lead. It won't be wet enough for the intermediates towards the end of this race. It will be dry pretty much to the end. Montana leads the way, 2.5 seconds. Neo in second. Bullet Boy has excelled himself in 3rd position and is trying to hunt him down towards Blanchimont and the bus stop chicane. The penultimate lap in what is going to be a rain-soaked Spa towards the end of this race. Montana leads from Neo in second, Bullet Boy in 3rd, Spine in 4th, losing time now to these 2. We are on board with Bullet Boy as he comes through the bus stop chicane section for the final time, and again Larkin and Verstappen getting very close further down the field as well. We will try and chop and change during the last couple of laps or so here tonight. Montana leads 2.7 seconds. Oh my god, Verstappen on the brakes, nearly careering into the back of Neo. Verstappen much later on the brakes. Good evening to Lewis Welsh, who has joined in. Good to see you here. Intermediate tyres for Waluigi. What is he on? What is he on? Well, Ouija going for a set of intermediate conditions. I'm not sure if I swear it's definitely not DRS disabled. And Ouija has gambled here. I think he's gambled a little bit too much, because that is still a dry track to me. Verstappen right on the back of Larkin in the meantime for P5 out on track. We'll see how much time Ouija loses in terms of the inters, and you can already see that gap beginning to come down. It is still dry out on track. Good effort though for trying. He might still he will pick up points, I would imagine, if he gets overtaken by the likes of Kooky Games, Landy Forever and Gary Donegan in behind. Gary recovering quite well, actually, on a one-stop strategy after the contact on lap 1. He has made good progress through the field, and he's up to 12th position. Of course, quite a few drivers out of the race. We will reflect on that afterwards. Montana, 2.9, 3 seconds out on track, and of course has dominated, and it's going to be for a 6th consecutive win in this race. No surprise to see Waluigi is now getting overtaken. Kooky Games and Landy Forever go waltzing up the inside through Pouon. Waluigi will try and stick in there. If he stays ahead of his teammate, that'll be a good effort in its own right. However, the track getting a little bit damper. On to the final lap, and it's Montana who leads. Neo has had a shocking run out the final corner. Bullet Boy now chasing him down. Onto the final corner. There is a yellow flag in sector 1. That is Rick, who has lost it through a rouge. And Radion and Kooky Games is out. And he crashed through Stavelot. Kooky Games is out of the race through Stavelot. That means Rick is going to get points. Larkin and Verstappen go side by side through turn 1. And Verstappen ran the outside on Larkin at La Source. Has got the move done. Bullet Boy and Neil now beginning to battle it out. There is Rick on the right hand side of the track getting out of the way. And Bullet Boy is into second place. And has Neil got a puncture on the rear right? Oh, and he careers into the back of him. There's contact. There is contact between the top 2. Bullet Boy and Neo. What on earth? Bullet Boy and Neo make contact. This is going to bring Spine into second. Neil recovering. I thought he had a puncture. He hasn't. It's the wet conditions that's really affecting this. Larkin has gone past Verstappen just in behind as well. Ex-Jerry could get a potential podium here. He's kept it clean. Ex-Jerry, Verstappen, Larkin, anybody of the five, really, you're seeing that on your screen at the minute. 3rd to 7th, could pick up a podium. I would imagine. Verstappen, what a dramatic race. What a dramatic race. Neil is struggling. Oh, Bullet Boy's lost it. Bullet Boy's lost it out of P1. The wet conditions really beginning to tell now. Larkin is now into P3. Chopping and changing like the waves in the sea. Larkin and Neil find it out, but Montana coming through Blanchimont for the final time. A dramatic final lap here. We'll try and dissect it all, of course, after the race. Montana through the final corner. There's going to be a lot happening in behind. It's definitely wet tyres now. Montana round the final corner has dominated and takes his 6th consecutive win of the season. Montana wins from Spine in 2nd, Larkin in 3rd, Neil locks up. This could give Ex-Jerry a bit of a look in here in the Mercedes. Verstappen has been overtaken as well by Ex-Jerry actually late on. Larkin across the line in 3rd. Let's have a look at the penalties. Neil, Ex-Jerry has picked up a podium. Absolutely remarkable how quick that changed. Bullet Boy with no front wing, losing it through Pouon, coming across the line in 7th. Very unlucky. Literally DRS disabled right at the end of the race. Thank God he got home in time. Dakar across the line in 8th. He'll be happy with that. Landy Forever on his debut in 9th. Waluigi going to come across the line in 10th, gains as a result of the penalties, and Gary Donegan, good recovery drive from him, he's coming across the line in 11th. Drama on the final lap. One word, thrilling. Absolutely thrilling out on track, and it's Montana who takes the win of the race. There's going to be a lot happening in the stewards room, I guarantee, after this race. My God, what a drama of the race. The rain falling right at the end, causing quite a bit of havoc out on track. Of course, there might be investigations within that as well. Let's have a look at some of the comments coming through. GG, what a finish. I know, what a finish. Spine was unlikely for a podium. Good job on the podium position. Oh, I need to lie down after this, honestly. My first P2 in the league and you hit me. That's a complaint to Neil. I think he just purely locked up. Given the wet conditions, he tried to take his dry line and his dry braking point. That's all that happened there, I think. Montana takes it. It is a Swiss 1-2 with Spine in 2nd. Ex-Jerry in 3rd. My hands are going crazy like Gordon Ramsay. Larkin has finished in 4th position with Neil in 5th. Verstappen in 6th. Bullet Boy in 7th. Dakar in 8th. Waluigi in 9th from 17th on the grid. Did very well indeed. Landy Forever on his debut as well, gaining positions late on. Gary Donegan in 11th. Rick in 12th. Kuka Games, V5HRL, Game Boys, YHYY and Chapelletti. Chapelletti didn't even make a run the first lap. Oh, I need to lie down after that. Goodness me. Montana takes it though in Belgium with Spine in 2nd and Ex-Jerry filling out the top 3 positions. Of course, there will be possible investigations. This is the official, unofficial results that you guys are seeing currently out on your screen at this moment in time. But what a drama-filled last couple of laps that was. The last 2 laps especially. Harrison David coming in saying good race. It was more than a good race. It was a fantastic race. Chaotic ending, says Doom. Good commentary from myself. Thank you very much, Doom. Of course, comments much appreciated like that, and it keeps me delivering on the commentary throughout the season. And I can of course confirm I will be back next season for League of Europe. You're not going to miss me too much. I will be back next season for League of Europe, and I will of course be back next week for League of Europe. If you do want to catch up with me though in terms of my personal commentaries that I do, we have got TT_Project Cars on Monday and TTLF2 on a Tuesday. You can catch that up on the TTTV channel. I will be there on Monday and Tuesday. You will next see me though on League of Europe on Saturday. I'm not going to be here for GT Sport, but I will be back for the season finale in Brazil. Until then, I need to lie down, I need a drink. Thank you very much for watching in Belgium, and until next time, goodbye.